Maybe live.
Oh, nice.
And there
we
it is.
go.
What
Hey.
is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another weekly edition of Shredding Social. We have missed you guys for almost 2 weeks. Joe's been traveling. I've been traveling. We've been enjoying a little bit of family time, which all of you should be doing as well, because that's what it's really all about. But we are back here, Shredding Social, and we're talking about something that is incredibly relevant because desperate times, they called for not so desperate measures. And you shouldn't be thinking that way. Joe, what's up, my friend? How the heck are you?
Dude, great. It is it sometimes, I've been at a couple conferences recently and it does feel like these are desperate times. And I feel like a lot of people are kind of freaking out, Josh, and we hear it all the time here, and I'm sure you're the same. It's like, "Oh my gosh, we got to fix our business. We got to keep our business running. We got to grow our business." And people are just kind of freaking out about how to do that.
Dude,
And
freaking out. Like, I typically don't even like the word freaking out, but like people are legit freaking out, dude.
yeah.
It's just like, what is going? And again, sure, there's some uncertainty with markets and mortgage industry, and sure, there's not as much opportunity and deals out there, but that doesn't mean you can't be still thriving. And so many people here, like legitimately, Joe, I keep people, everybody's like almost trying to reinvent the wheel right now. Like they're just like, oh, it's like desperate measures. We got to go into, this is back in 2008. We got to go back into modes of just, focus. And I was like, whoa, chill. Take a deep breath here. Because Joe, you and I know, like, they're not even doing the simple things, especially when it comes to like social media, being active, being consistent, doing the things that you and I have talked about on the show. They're not even freaking doing that. You don't need to be going to desperate measures yet.
Well, let's take maybe a different approach to this. Let's look at those that are doing really well right now. Like, what loan officers do you know that are having a lot of success? And the ones that I know that are having a lot of success, and maybe this is just by virtue of the space in which we operate in, but are doing really well on social media. They're showing up on video. They're being consistent on their social. They're talking about their experiences, and everyone wants to be with someone who's successful. And the more success and more experience and more education that you can provide, people are going to want to work with you. I was reading this article the other day about things that have changed completely since the pandemic. Okay. And it was talking about the increase in like delivery of food and different goods and things like that. Some behavioral changes that have happened since the ending of the pandemic. And we're all back. We're not wearing masks. Our kids are in school. A lot of things have gone back to normal. But one of the things that, on top of some of these other behaviors that consumers have, is to do more education and be more present on social media. And that is, we're seeing that really, really strongly as we are talking with our clients who are embracing social media as not just a strategy, but a whole business strategy, right? Not just one thing, but like we're going all in on these things and they're having the success. And that's because consumer behavior has changed. Realtor behavior has changed over the past couple of years, and they're wanting to spend more time. They're wanting to engage with you in different ways. It's not the same old just tactics that we had before on business development in the mortgage industry. And like you said earlier, Josh, the thing that people are having success with, it's not desperate measures. Yes, these are desperate times, but there are not desperate measures. They're doing the small and simple things that add up over time. And the biggest thing that we see, and I think that if any of our viewers want to try, is be consistent on social, and you'll see the success follow it.
It's provide the value, be consistent. And even to your point, Joe, you and I could probably, if we took the top list of top 20 names, and if you and I wrote down the top 20 people being active on social media and we compared our lists, they would be very, very similar, even without like collaborating. Even if you wrote your 20 down, I wrote my 20 down, those top 20 people, we just see them. We see what they're doing. And it's not that they're like, again, they're not going over the top. All they're doing is like, just being consistent with it. They're not going the whole Gary Vaynerchuk putting out 10 pieces of content a day. They're just being consistent. Like and what's crazy, Joe, is they're blowing away the other 99% of the industry with just being consistent on it. It's so crazy because we do see the industry go through these ups and downs, these ebbs and flows, and it's like, okay, now what do we really have to be doing to move the needle when it's the simple activities like you talked about. It's the things that they're not even doing. everybody wants to talk about social. The last couple of conferences that you and I have both been to, social media all day long, social media, but it's the simple like practitioners and the lack of action and even accountability of when it comes to being on social media. That is just the lack right now.
And look, we're not saying, and I don't think any would make this claim that the only way you can have success is on social media. Like I know a lot of loan officers who have a lot of success that are not even present on social, period, right? But they're doing specific business activities outside that are consistent and regular, and they've built a business up over many years with referrals that are doing really well. So I'm not saying, and Josh, I don't think you're saying that you have to do social media. We're not trying to fear monger this, but what we're merely suggesting is that if this is part of your overall business strategy and you want to have success, you want to reach the most amount of people in the least amount of time and the least amount of effort, that's social media. And if you can do it and you can do it really well, you're going to have success.
No, 100%. Mike Eshelman's coming in from LinkedIn. The companies I know who are still having success are measuring the metrics, marketing cost per lead, app lock, understanding which campaigns are still performing and which are not. Mike, this is a good point. And it's just like you and I are talking here. These are simple, like the things that even Mike just mentioned. It's really knowing your numbers. And when it comes to social media, I love that you mentioned too, Joe, we're not trying to fearmonger anybody. Like you're already spending time on social media. I recently got an updated statistic that now adults over the age of 18 are spending almost 2.75 so 2.75 hours on social media. Social media alone.
That's up, on dude, because that's up 20 minutes because last I checked, it was 2.5 hours. So that's
what it was usually 2.5 hours, but now it's gone up to 2 hours and 45 minutes that people are spending a day on social media. So no, we're not trying to fearmonger anybody. Go look at yours. If I go pull up my,
it's way more than 2.5 hours, I'm sure.
Heck, way more just because it's what you and I do, but that's where people are spending their time. That's where consumers, that's where the people, us as mortgage professionals, we're trying to get to those consumers. Guys, that's where the time is being spent. So make sure, to Mike's point, that you have a plan in place. Make sure that you're, again, utilizing the tools that are in front of you and have a simple solution that can help you with it. Maybe you don't know how to do it.
Well, the thing I love about what he said too is to measure your success. And I think a lot of people are not doing that. They're just going on, they're saying, oh, it doesn't work for me, I didn't get a lead today or whatever. Or they're not really measuring the success of the different types of content they're putting out. There's a lot of different things that you can do. Like, but before you start even like, worrying or obsessing about those things, you just got to show up and you got to do a whole bunch of stuff. You got to try it for at least 30 days and like be consistent with it for 30 days and then go back and measure and then look at the strategy for us going forward. You can't measure if you haven't done anything.
That's it. We're ending on that. We can't you literally can't measure if you haven't even tried, or if you haven't even tried to put it. Joe, the best ones are when somebody's like, well, Josh, I made one post and I didn't get any reactions. I'm like, you made one post? Like, you bet. It's going to take you a while. Beat 30 days. I'm telling people like 90 days or even 6 months. So we're going to leave it on that. Like you said, you can't measure your success if you're not doing the work. So guys, as always, Joe Wilson is dropping the knowledge bombs on us here at Shredding Social. Make sure you tune in every week. We are here sharing the things you need to know about social so you can be successful with it. So Joe, you're the man. Appreciate you.
You rock.
Well, guys, we'll see you all next week at the same time, every single week. No, we appreciate you. Love you. See ya.